Got a real quick question for you. Let me mute this TV. If you was talking to a friend or even an audience, and the motherfucker just snuck up behind you, grabbed you, and put his hand over your mouth. Now, mind you, you're armed too, because we're supposed to be armed. Would you not feel threatened? Well, the same as censorship. It is an act of war and a provocation. And just to show you how diabolical the Democratic Party has become, spiritually and scripturally, they have merged with big business. That's part of the beast system that you read about in Revelations. And it's also part of the three-headed eagle prophecy in 2nd Ezra. This lets you know just how close we are to the very end times. His Majesty's return is even at the door. But I say that to say this. You have to not accept these lies that they cram down your throat, forcing terms on you that don't apply. See, what Satan's children like to do is they like to impose words, deceptive words on the masses through the media and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it until you believe that it's true. Just like before I get to what they call a surrection, which was actually a protest, and it was your constitutional right to protest on that 2020 election. I'll just go there. I'm going to tell you why it wasn't an insurrection. You look the word up, and all you veterans out there, especially you Navy veterans, when you look up the word mutiny and insurrection, an insurrection is committed against, and even anciently and biblically, insurrections were committed against kings and rulers because kingdoms were ruled by kings. It was an uprising against a monarch. Now, when you take America, you got three branches of government. The executive branch, which is the president, the judicial branch, and the legislative branch. Now, the president at the time, why would they call me now? I'm going to pause it and I'm going to return. Okay, had to take that. Was a very important call. To prevent that from happening again, I don't know why I didn't think of this. Just put the phone on airplane mode. But getting back to insurrection, you see on the wicked mainstream media, they've been forcing that term insurrection down your throat for years. And it's been a provocative, I hate lies. It's been a corrupt, provocative show. But anyway, again, those of you who are in the military and the Navy, and you can just look up the word insurrection. Insurrections were committed against, like if you're in the Navy, the captain of the ship. It's basically committed against the head, a single person. And even though America has three branches of government, the president himself at the time, which was Donald Trump, he's the single most person that embodies the majority of the electorate. All by himself, he is a branch of government. So to say that his supporters and protesters committed insurrection goes against the very definition. By definition, they can't commit insurrection because they were there to support the president, who was the supreme, the head of the country. He is one branch of the government, the executive branch, all by himself. So you see how they impose a lot, and the Constitution gives you that right to protest. And it's amazing to me how the hypocrisy of America and NATO and all of Satan's children. How many times have you seen on the news when protests erupt in China or Iran or something, America supports those protesters? They've even overthrown governments. They'll fund it and go over there and conduct black ops operations to where they'll pay mercenaries and people to disrupt gatherings to topple leaders. They support that, and they'll show you on the news where, we support all the protesters in the street. But when it comes to their own nation, now it's a problem. So you have to think about those things. Free speech is supported abroad, but it's crushed right here at home. You see, lawlessness, you have no law where the laws are not just. Double standards. That's written in the scriptures where Yahuwah, a just weight, a righteous weight is his delight, but an unjust weight is an abomination. You know, you use one standard of measure for one circumstance and another for another. And they do this all the time to best suit them. So you have to know the MO, or the modus operandi of Satan's children. And that's just the truth of the matter. And I started off, you know, you talking to somebody and someone, now you armed, which is your right to do so. And a motherfucker sneaks up behind you, and while you talking, you don't see him coming. He just grabs you and puts his hand over your mouth. Of course you would feel threatened. And that's what censorship is. See, that's why the Constitution gives you the right to free speech. The Most High gives you the right to free speech and to keep and bear arms. You have the right to protect yourself. A person try to take your life, you got a right to defend yourself. Moreover, it also is written in this nation's constitution, which is supposed to be the highest law of the land. Anybody that violates that should be charged with treason and really executed. Because if you don't execute them, evil was gonna reassemble itself and commit and declare war against those the righteous. And see, if you have lawlessness, you no longer have order. You no longer have a nation. You have borders. And see, the right to keep and bear arms, it says Congress shall make no law abridging that right. And yet you got laws on the book that talking about you can't have fully. We're supposed to be able to keep the same type of weapons the government arms troops with. And to show you the hypocrisy, they're taking our money, giving free weapons to a nation halfway across the world for free. Big weapons, while they're taking away your weapons. They're setting you up to take over. And you got to understand, when war, a fool doesn't know when war has been declared on you. And you have to understand that. And the government is 100% fully democratic. You got beast Joe Biden, the most wicked man that's ever sat in that office. And you got 100% Democratic Congress. And you know, it amazes me. You know, it takes someone like me and others to tell you and point these things out plainly to you. But I know it's true because the scriptures bear out and these things were prophesied. So you have to know the spiritual times and the day that you're living in so that you know what to expect. Okay? I have to warn you because if my eyes are open and I can see, then I have an obligation to open my mouth and warn you. I post these things. Of course, Facebook don't like it. I got restricted, which I've already been restricted. They're going to send me something last night restricting me and didn't even give me a reason, simply because I was sharing some videos that spoke the truth. So I share them. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to leave Facebook real soon. I'm really tired of it. I'm tired of seeing a lot of you Negroes playing around and just being worldly. Nobody seems to have an ear. Nobody seems to be listening. I've been posting more on Truth Social and Twitter because at least Elon Musk realizes the importance of being able to speak freely and have a free and open discourse. You know, because when a person takes that away, war, you know, they declare war against you and they coming for you. So, you know, I wanted to make a short video on that. We're very close to some very oppressive laws. They're going to go further with this shit. They're going to pass something that's going to be so absurd. And I hate to see it because judging how the way a lot of you acted with these masks and vaccines, you're going to be quick. If there is a literal mark of the beast where you have to accept it and give up your body, if there is such a thing, which is coming like soon, I believe it's already been here, but we have to watch as well as pray. And as things come down the pipeline, we have to always evaluate that and compare it to scripture. But if there be such a thing, I see a lot of y'all going to accept it quickly. You'll stand in line to take it. And that's terrible. And that's just sad, you know. But somebody has to tell you. And I just wanted to say that. And I want to use those analogies because you see it all the time, the hypocrisy of America and NATO. You know, they go abroad, they topple. What you saw on January 6th, the truth, the real insurrection was January 3rd. And the truth is coming out. I don't know why these devils think they can hide the truth. The truth is eternal, and the truth owns them as well as us. The truth created everything. And I don't know how, but that's just how corrupt they are. They think that they're going to be able to deceive the world and the truth ain't going to come out. But now that your truth is coming out, you see they use the same game plan at home that they did abroad. America has been in the business of toppling governments for decades, if not centuries, actually centuries. I mean, they tried it in Cuba. It didn't work. You know, they badmouthed Fidel Castro because it didn't work. They overthrew kingdoms. And then what makes you think they wouldn't do it at home? It's a playbook that they wrote. They wrote the book on that. You know, what was that guy that they had? He was a Barack Obama looking dude over in Venezuela. They clean cut looking dude. They were talking about, well, we don't recognize Maduro anymore. But guess what? Maduro, the citizens recognize him still as the president. America has done this so many times, and only a fool would think they wouldn't do this shit at home. Nancy Pelosi was supposed to, they got requests where even Trump requested that they have the National Guard posted around the White House. That request was denied I don't know how many times. They had provocateurs out there in the audience. They had police officers and guys that work for the FBI beckoning people to come in. It's so fucking provocative that I've lost respect for a lot of people I thought were smarter than that because they fell for such a dumb okie doke. And when you lose respect for somebody, it's damn near impossible to get back. Because there are some people that I esteemed and some in my own family that I looked up to that fell for such a foolish, I don't even fuck with them no more. And it's just like that. You know, these are days of separation. You know, there's a time to gather stones and there's a time to cast them away, you know. So, you know, just take those things into consideration. All right.